Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to integrate iCloud with the help of iCloudKit in Expo React Native application to perform CRUD operations. So for this particular tutorial you will require a paid Apple developer account, so that is a necessity unfortunately, and iCloud is only for iOS, so we can't really do this for Android. So let's get started. So first, to create an Expo React Native application you can go to this particular URL. And I will be using this blank TypeScript template because it generates less boilerplate code, and it also has TypeScript support. So I will just copy this URL to create an Expo React Native application with TypeScript. I'll copy this inside my workspace. Now it will ask me for my app name. I'll just name it as my app. You can give whatever name you feel like. Then I'll just open this inside VS Code. So here is my app. Now if you see, we don't have the iOS folder created. We will need to write native code for this, so we require iOS folder as well. Now to create the iOS folder you will have to go to this particular URL and you will have to paste it over here. So here you will have to select iOS device, then here development build. I have disabled ES because I will be doing this building this app locally. Then I have already installed Xcode command line tool, so I don't have to worry about all this. I've already installed Brew, install Watchman as well. Then I'll need to run this command. I'll copy it. Let's just wait for the app to finish. Okay, so this is done. So I'll just cd to my app. I'll paste this particular code and it will again install some npm dependencies. The important part is this. So this will actually create the iOS folder for us. So let's just wait for this to complete. Okay, so this is done. Now I'll just enter this. Now this will take a little bit of time because it has to do CocoaPod installation and stuff, so I will just wait for this to complete and come back. Okay, so CocoaPod installation is done. Now it is asking me to select a device and run our application. I'm not going to do that. I will just do Control-C because we haven't written any code, so why we should run it now. Once that is done, you will have to come to this particular URL to understand how to add a native module. So I won't go through this, but you will just have to copy this command, come over here and paste it. Now again it will ask me some few questions. I'll just click on enter, and here you enter. So it will, if you go to VS Code, it will, here you can see it has created this modules for us. Then given that we need to write code inside iOS, we'll again have to do CocoaPod installation. So the easiest way is again to run this particular command. So once this is done, again I'll just run this command. So again this will take little bit of time. Let it do its thing. Now what I'll do is I will just write all the code and come back and explain it to you, all of it. Alright guys, so I have written all the code which is necessary. So before we look into the code, there is one important thing which we have to do. So just go to your app. So this is my app, right? Go to the iOS folder, double click on this .exe workspace folder. It will open it in Xcode. So open your Xcode, go to your project. So this is my project. Go to general, go to sign in and capabilities, and here firstly you will have to select your team, and then here I will have to give some name. So I will show you the code later on. I will just copy this. You can give your app whatever bundle identifier you want. I'm just giving some dummy bundle identifier, but make sure you give it something like com.yourCompanyName.yourAppName. Don't just leave it like com.yourCompanyName. It will create issues for you. So typically bundle identifier should be something like com.yourCompanyName.yourAppName. Okay, and then you will have to click on plus capability, and here you just have to search for iCloud. I'll click on this, and then it does take little bit of time to do all the provisioning. So yeah, just wait for a second or two, and then you can just click on this all these options. Okay, then what we'll have to do is I will just copy this bundle identifier. I'll click on this plus button. I'll click on iCloud dot whatever is my bundle identifier. So make sure you copy this because we will be using this entire thing inside our code as well. So just copy this and click on OK. So I have done that. Next, coming back to our code. So firstly you will have to go to your modules, my module, go to src my module.ts, and here we will have to create 4 methods. So first one is save method, which takes a value. So basically we are doing a CRUD operation: save, update, delete and read. I'm not really passing any callback. If you want, you can pass a callback. I am not really interested for save, because I have a get all method if I want to get all data. So this is the save data method. Then this is for delete a specific data method. This is for update. So what you want to update and what you want to get updated by. Again, it also returns a promise, and get all returns a promise of string. Now when we get data from iCloud, it would be in a item record format. I'm just fetching a particular field from that, and then it would be an array of that particular field, array of string. I'm converting it to a JSON, like JSON stringifying it, and then sending it to React Native side. Then we will have to parse that JSON over here. If you have a better way of sending data back, do let me know in the comments. Then once that is done, if you see inside app.tsx, all I have done is that I have imported our module. I have also imported use state as well as use effect, and I have imported flat list, text input, touchable, opacity from React Native as well. Then I have created 2 state. This particular text is for our text, this particular state is for our text input, and this particular state is for getting, or once we get all the items, we need to show it inside a flat list, right? That's why we are using this. Ignore this use effect for now, I'll come back to this later on. Then I have just created one text input for the user to type something. Then I have one button called save. So we are just calling the save data method, and whatever the user have typed inside our text input, we are saving that. Then for get all, we just call the get all method. So once you call this get all and it is successful, and native iOS side sends data back to React Native side, we will come into this use effect, and we are constantly listening for this on change listener. Now this on change listener is created by default when you create an Expo React Native module. So it is already there inside this my module.types.ts. So here you can see we already have that, and this is how we send it. No, sorry, not this, this particular thing, and this as well on change. So we don't have to worry about this. Hopefully they don't remove this in the future. And and this particular thing has a property called value, right? With the help of this value, I'm sending the data back. So here you can see I'm checking for the value, and if the value is not equal to null, undefined or empty, then only I'm parsing that particular JSON and setting it to our list. Okay, then again we'll come back. So this is for updating. So whatever you have typed inside your text input will get updated by hello. Now I have just hard coded hello over here, but if you want, you can take a separate text input, or however your app is designed over here. Next is for delete. So this is how we delete the data. And next is a flat list item. So here we just display a list of items with the help of flat list. Now we will actually write the implementation. So for that you will have to go to the iOS folder. You will have to go to my module.swift file, and here firstly we will import CloudKit. Then we have an array of country string. So we will be storing country names inside our database, but you can store whatever you feel like. Also we are only storing one field, so our table will have only one column, but if you want, you can store multiple fields as well. Just for simplicity's sake, I am created only one field. Then we have this item records as well. So this is how we will actually get the data from iCloud, and from that, this item records, we will only fetch the country one and populate this to this particular country array. Then this is the CK container. So whatever container ID we gave inside Xcode, make sure you use the same one, otherwise it will not work for you. Now there are different types of database, like public cloud database, private cloud database, shared cloud database. I'm using the public cloud database, but if you want, you can just write private cloud database as well instead of public. That's how simple it is. Even if it is public cloud database, don't worry that if I as a user create something in your app, some other user won't be able to manipulate my data. So that's the advantage. Then the DB name is world. You can change it to whatever you feel like, and field name I have given it as country. Again, change it to whatever you feel like. Now this is boilerplate code which is present by default. I have not changed anything over here. Then here I have created this save data method which takes our value, and here we just do a CK record of record type DB name, and then we just do record.set value for key of field name. database.save record. In case if it is error, I'm just printing it to the console. In case of success also, I'm printing it to the console. Next for getting all, we just do a ck query to our db name, and then we just fetch everything. Then we pass our field name, and then we also pass our results. And if it is success, we then just do match results.compact map and switch result. If it is success, then we just return the record. In case of failure, we just return nil. Then we just remove everything from our country array, and then we just loop over the item records. We just fetch the country field and append it to our country array. Then we just encode it, and we just send it in JSON format, JSON string back to React Native side. So this is how I send data. In case of error, I'm just sending empty strings back. Then for update, this is the value, and this is what I want to get updated with. So I'm first checking whether our item records have this particular field or not by using double equal tos. If it has, then I'm just updating it with the updated data which you send, and then saving it to our database. And then I'm just printing it to the console. Similarly for delete data as well, whatever value you have passed, I'm just passing that particular value, checking whether it is inside our database or not. If yes, then we just do database.delete and just pass our record. And in case of success, if error is nil, we print success, otherwise we print failure. So hopefully that should be it. Even I have not tested this app. Let's test it together. So I will just quickly run this app and show you guys the output. Before that, we will have to go to icloud.developer.apple.com. Okay, so as you can see, I am on icloud.developer.apple.com, and I'll just click on this CloudKit database. Now over here you can see that if you try to search for your iCloud dot whatever is your bundle identifier, you won't see it because we haven't run my application. We haven't run our application yet. So I just wait for the application to boot up on my simulator. Also make sure you sign in into iCloud. This is very important. If you don't sign into iCloud, everything will fail for you, and you will keep scratching your head why this is not working for you. So that's another important step if you are testing it on a simulator like me. So yeah, let's just wait for the simulator to boot up, and then we will do like add some item. It will fail for the very first time. We have to add something called indexes, which I will explain you in a bit. Once that is done, we should be able to see our container ID being created over here. So I think it should have created. Let's just take iCloud.my also. Okay, so it has already created. I was wrong about this. So as soon as we create it inside Xcode, it communicates with icloud.developer.apple.com, and it automatically creates for us. But if you see, we are using public database, right? So select that, or in case if you're using private, make sure you use that. This users is present by default, but our DB name was world, so that is not created. So we'll have to, okay, I don't know what this is. So we'll just have to wait for our simulator to boot up, and once it is boot up, then we will try to create a record. It will fail for the very first time because we have to add something called indexes. Once that is done, then we will be able to see our records. So that is only one time process of adding indexes. I have tried looking into it if it is possible to do that programmatically. Unfortunately it is not, so you will have to do that for the very first time. Okay, so here is the output. Now what I'll do is, okay, I think I messed up my UI. It is at the very top. I'll just go to app.tsx, and here I will just add some padding just so that I can see my text input. I'm not able to even see my text input. Margin top about 30. Okay, so I will just type here something out. So I don't know, India, then I'll click on save. Now if we see our metro bundler, okay, there are no logs inside our metro bundler. Because we were logging it inside Xcode. But anyways, if I go to my particular iCloud database, if I just do a refresh of our screen, I think it should have created our database at least. So it has created our database. If I select my database and query our records, here you can see it is saying it is not able to get because this name is not marked queryable. So again, we have not created this field. This is created automatically. I don't know why they can't just mark it queryable by themselves, but anyways, you will have to go to indexes. This is just a one-time operation. Just click on this plus button, record, select record type as world, and here select type as queryable, and here field you will select as record name, and here same name I will just type it out. I'll click on add. Now if I just go to our records, and if I just again select world, make sure you select your own database. I'll click on query record, and here you can see it is able to get India for us. I'll click on read. Okay, and here you can see I'm able to see India. I will just now add Australia, US. I'll just save this. I'll click on save. Now one thing I want to make tell you that if suppose if after saving, if you're programmatically calling this read method as well, which we have created, sometimes even though the save gets successful, it is async await read, and if you after awaiting it, if you try to call read, you might not get the data because iCloud does take a little bit of time. I mean, for one of my application I had to add an artificial delay of 1 to 2 seconds. I know this is not a good programming practice, but unfortunately we can't control iCloud. So I will now click on read. So suppose if you are not able to see your data immediately, make sure you give pull to refresh or something like that to your user. Now to update, I have AUS. It will update with hello, I guess. That's what we have hard coded it. Again, I have just clicked on the update button. I'll just wait for a second or two, and then I'll click on read, and here you can see it is saying hello. So this is our flat list, if you remember. And now I will just type hello over here because that's what I want to delete. Okay, hello is small. Okay, I'll just save hello. I'll just click on read. Okay, and now I'll delete hello, and I'll just click on read again. Okay, and here you can see it was deleted. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.